Hey, what's going on, everybody, man? It is Jordan Pugh, the head coach and founder here at PPT, and we are back with another episode of the Coach's Corner. I'm coming to you a little bit different today because our video got cut off at the beginning. So this is the intro to the video with the assistant player personnel director of Cal football, the University of California at Berkeley football, Marcus Griffin. Look, I thoroughly enjoyed this video. I thought he had great insight. He was dropping gems. And if anybody wants to know what a pro personnel guy looks for out of school, how they evaluate players, how they put a roster and a team together, this is the video for you. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Take notes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And then go to pptelite.com to learn more about our program. See y'all soon.
For my parents and all that, they want to get to asking me questions and they think they know all the answers. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? Let me get all the guys that are in the positions. Hey man, y'all go over there, answer their questions, all that type stuff. So now you can't argue. You can't argue with me. This is what the man said. You see what I'm saying?
That's
So, but yeah, man. So I know my parents are loving it, man. But shoot, we gonna, we'll ask you like just how you got into the football type stuff, all that, and then we'll get into how you transition to Cal. Oh, congratulations, by the way. I ain't say that, man.
Oh, appreciate that. I mean, obviously, man, playing football as a young child from the age of 7, my first coach, Rick West, told me, that season, he's like, you're going to play on Saturdays one day. So that kind of drew my interest and my love for the game. I come from a football background and football family, so that's obviously pivotal to us, but just loved it. Loved the relationships, loved the game, loved what it did for me. Went to college, University of Arizona 4 years, graduated, grad transferred to Central Michigan to get my master's, played my last season, graduated there, ended up going into the corporate sales world. I thought I wanted to make a lot of money and thought that was the route. I did make a lot of money, but I wasn't happy and I didn't feel fulfilled.
Okay.
And got involved with, community engagement, worked with a local program in Seattle for a couple of years, stepped away, became a pivotal piece in the Avery Strong College Showcase that Brandon Huffman has in Seattle.
Yeah.
So kind of got to transition my network and what I do to help others. So it's been a blast. And then obviously Cal, reached out, had three-minute phone calls. And that's all it took. And I was sold. They did a great job with everything and they take great care of me now.
Man, that's funny, man. So kind of give me some insight on the jersey. So, man, I know we met, what was it, 2 years ago, back when we came up, we played FSP, man. Saw you guys. Of course, you guys had a loaded roster and all that, man. How did you, get involved in there? Just what was your journey from playing the game to finding yourself on the sideline to now the scouting department, man? How did that transition work?
Yeah, I think honestly, man, when I was done playing, I just wanted to get away from it. Like I wanted to enjoy being a regular person, have weekends, have holidays.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends, Jordan, we're actually out here for him. It's his bachelor party this weekend. He kept poking at me and is like, "You're wasting your talent by doing this. Like, you know too many people. You've done a lot. You can speak. You know how to move rooms. Like, go do this." And then ended up linking with FSP a while ago, and that was kind of like a groundbreaking opportunity to use the platform to build some liability with myself and my name. And then just kept, stepped away from there and just kept doing the same thing, kept helping kids, going around the country, just being real with people. And that kind of put me in the position I'm in now. I mean, I was, when it came down to go to Cal, it wasn't the only offer on the table, but it was the best relationship I had with the staff. So I felt like internally that was the best move, and it's been the best move.
Man, you said something key, man. You said relationships. I think that's interesting because one of the things that I tell my players all the time is about the relationships, right? So all the college guys that I get coming back, they, you portal stuff, you know how that stuff go. That's your world, right? And one of my guys, Nana, who's at Notre Dame, just transferred to TCU, talked about the relationship portion. When you say relationship, how important was that in the fact of even going to college? I mean, you had your thing rolling. You were part of a big program at FSP. You got the opportunities because of the relationships. How big of a factor were those?
I think they were everything. I mean, a lot of the people that are in the same position now recruited me when I was in high school. So, like, this isn't that far off. That's 2014. We're in 2024 and 2025. So, if they've been in it a decade since, we formulated some sort of a good relationship. I mean, when I was getting recruited, I didn't feel like I was a big time, like, recruit in the way that I want to talk to everybody. Like, if you offer me, we're going to have a conversation. Like, right now, Coach Browning, our interior D tackle coach at Cal, he offered me a UTEP. That was my second offer. I can tell you exactly where I was when he called me and told me. And it's just kind of like, paths crossed. sometimes you forget about them, but they don't ever forget about you. And then,
Yeah.
you know, how they felt about you back then is kind of going to portray how they feel about you now.
Man, but you speaking facts, man. It's like that when I went through my recruiting. All the coaches that I'm in contact, heck, man, on the phone with you now, right? And all that good stuff. Okay, man. So, all right. So we go in and you are now in a new position, right? The assistant player personnel director. I'm mom, I'm dad. I don't know nothing about football, but my son is good. Everybody keeps telling me my son is good. Everybody keeps telling me my son is a D1 guy. First off, what is your actual job description for the people who don't know? And then the second thing is, man, how do you go about evaluating players, man? Like, what? Look, man, this guy says I need this recruiting service. This guy says I need to go to this camp. This coach says don't go to the camp. What do I need to do? How does that evaluation process go break down for you guys? So what's your role and what do the parents need to know?
So my role as the assistant director of player personnel, I primarily recruit defense and only defense. Some positions on offense I have relationships with that I'll help or, you know, here when I can, you know what I mean, when I can be impactful. My boss is the general manager, so he oversees roster management, portal, and everything else that falls underneath that. Essentially, I'm just scouring the country for defensive guys. So, like right now in our 25 class, we got a lot of D linemen committed, looking for a couple more secondary, pretty stacked in linebacker, you know what I mean? So trying to find the final touches. But I mean, on our end, yeah, we pay for certain services, but not the services that these kids or the families are paying for. Like NG, NSA, NCS, whatever that is, recruiting, we don't pay for that. Like we pay for Huddle, we pay for PFF, pay for Coaches by the Numbers, National Press, Whistle, like all these platforms give us information, and not like a summary of information, but like height, weight, wingspan, handling, 40 times, camp performances, last year's tape, transcript, contact information. So, I mean, you're pretty much doing a deep dive on a kid before you even talk to him. Like I know it enough to have a conversation to hold my own, pretty much.
Man, that's interesting, man. So, okay, so I'm a parent, and man, I'm at the school, doesn't get a lot of attention, all this other type stuff. Everybody tells me to go to these camps, man. All right, so I go to these camps. Next thing you know, I'm running around, I'm watching my son do these drills. Okay. But all of a sudden, I don't see any coaches talking to him. What is the protocol when it comes to the camps, man? What type of camps do I need to be going to? How important are they in the evaluation process? What are those things that you would tell the parent?
I would say like the UC camps, like the Under Armours and stuff like that. Like they do height, weight, verified measurements, and that's something we use a lot. I'd also say like the local college or college showcases. You know what I mean? I don't think like these pop up Joe Schmo local camp, come compete. Like they don't do anything. You gotta be in front of like real eyes that have power. The other thing with going to those camps is like you gotta like introduce yourself and stand out. So if it's wearing some funky color gloves or, you know, introducing yourself with a firm handshake and eye contact, or, you know, like, coach, hey, I have my transcript, I have all this information for you. Just let me know if you need it. Just be prepared for the meeting, essentially.
Man, okay. So I got to ask you the question, man, because I had my man on Colorado on, and he said something interesting, and I think it applies to you. That's why I want to ask you this question. Okay, so he said on that episode, he goes, your high school coach is not capable of getting you maximum exposure or maximizing your ability, i.e. saying like the school system, he has so many other jobs he has to do. He has to be a teacher. He's got to be an athletic director. He's got to do this, that, and the other. And then he said, you got to find the who, not the how. Okay. So he's talking about if there's programs out there outside of your school that are helping you get seen, helping you get evaluated, helping you get looks, scholarships, all this other type stuff. You need to look at partnering with them, especially if they have the relationships, the connections, this, that, and the other. The reason why I thought this applied to you is because, man, you had that work with FSP, right? I think about all the kids that we had gotten offered through our program, all that stuff, you know, air, whatever. Now that you're on the other side, all right, man, you're in those offices, you're in those rooms, you're dealing with the GMs, the head coaches, man. How big of a factor is that? Is he correct in saying that? Because, you know, you have that perspective. You have both sides now. So how big of a factor is that in the evaluation process for you guys? Do you look at the outside sources like the FSPs of the world, PPTs of the world, airs of the world? How important is that?
I would say it's not the most important thing, but it definitely benefits the kid.
Okay.
I would say, you know, being on both sides, I look at the other side a little differently.
Okay.
Like I remember, like texting coaches and kind of getting a little upset if I couldn't get an answer or didn't get immediate feedback. And it's like, there's so many different things that pop up in a day. Like there could be like this, let's say we're in portal season right now and we got OVs for high school. They're going to be like, all right, well, for the next 2 days, portal is the biggest thing on our mind. You know what I mean? I think being seen and being pushed is great. I think how it's done is what matters the most.
Expand on that, man. Expand on that. we get somewhere now. Yeah, expand on that for me.
No, I just think, you know what I mean? Like I said, I came up in this industry doing good business, having a good name. I think that's the golden ticket to it all. Like, obviously, you're not going to get every kid you shoot after. You're not going to get every profile high kid from every program. It's just not possible. But if the relationship is there and solid, then you got people working on your side instead of working against you. Yeah. So I think they're just as important as high school coaches. I mean, let's be real. Like we've had more 7-on-7, 5-on-5 training groups come instead of high school teams. Obviously, there's a couple. Like there's a couple programs in Utah that pulled up and saw us, but they're just built different. And the coach knows how to do this. He's been doing this 20 years, and he understands both lines. I think you need to, it's kind of like AAU hoops. Like you need to play for your school, but somebody else needs to put you on.
That's good, man. That's good. So let me ask you this. Another question that I get, man, and it kind of hit me. I really didn't know the answer to it. That's why I want to ask you. What is the most important season for the high school guy? All right, so now you got the summer. You got the early signing window in December, right? So everybody and mama is trying to get that recruiting class closed out. All right, we understand that. So we know that June, July is important for the colleges. For the high school kid, what is the important time? Is it January through May? Is it June through July? What is that? What do I need to pay attention to the most?
I think January through June, honestly. Like you gotta go pull up at these places. You gotta go show your face. You gotta go, be attentive, take notes. You gotta stand out, be different, so that when you do come back for whether a showcase or a camp or some sort of event, they already have a kind of a understanding of who you are. And I think people need to realize, like, before kids touch campus, there's a meeting. Somebody's calling a staff meeting, and somebody's working through the sheet, and people are giving updates of this kid, his situation, and where we stand. So we're already prepared going in. Like, we're not going into a camp not knowing who's out there. We have highlighted the top, whatever many kids we've offered, and we're making sure we go see them and love them up and introduce ourselves to their families.
That's good, boy. All right, so I got to ask you the question because I get bombarded by this too. The portal, okay? I hear 18 different answers, so I want to hear yours. The parents go, how much does this really matter? I hear all these rumors. I hear all this stuff. All right, man, they're primary this. Everybody sees Dion, right? And what he's doing at Colorado and with the portal stuff. How does this really affect my kid, man? Is he really not getting the look that he would normally get because they're trying to get this portal guy? How does that stuff apply to the high school athlete?
I think it's kind of I think portal's really based on high school for us, at least. I would say, like, there's obviously your tier 1 guys that you really want. Yeah. And then it's like, when you go look into your tier 2, would you be satisfied with taking that kid? Yeah. And if the answer is no, that means you have a portal spot. And if the answer is yes, you're good. But it's
you good. Boy, you good at this, boy. You good, man. You breaking this down. Don't go, man. You got me over here listening. I'm over taking up. Come on, my bad. I ain't even cut you off. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Good. No, it just really matters based on the need. Yeah. I mean, we would love to hit 100% in high school recruiting, get every kid, and have limited spots for the portal available, but it's just not that way. So for us, we're gonna go after our top guys, whatever. If it's 3, if it's 7, if it's 6, we're gonna go after them swinging. And if we, the dust settles and we don't get who we wanted, if we look down and we like, nah, it's a drop off, then we're gonna go to the portal. I mean, we've done that with some positions now. Like, some positions were pretty much full or could be full, and we're saving it for a portal guy.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense. So, okay, now I know this could be a tricky subject, so do as much as you can. Okay. How important is the NIL factoring? All right. So, you got your kids that are coming in that are high on the board. We understand how that works. But how does that play a factor in the recruiting process? So for like the higher end guys, man, is that something I need to ask you when the coaches are out on the road recruiting, for example, or if they're calling me, I'm coming on campus. Do I need to bring this up first? Or how do I integrate this? This is more so for the players who are at that level. You know what I'm talking about. How do I introduce that into the conversation? If I'm a parent, how do I introduce that into the conversation, or do I leave it alone? What would you say to people that are in that situation? Now I know, say what you can. I know, but yeah.
I think it's really case by case situation.
Okay.
I mean, we've dealt with some highly recruited kids where NIL wasn't the biggest factor, like the environment and playing time. Because I think kids that understand this playing time equates to NIL.
Yes.
So you can't chase a number off the bat and have played 0 snaps, then 0 for the university. I think you got to be realistic with yourself. Obviously, there are some kids in high school that deserve what they're asking for, but a large majority they do not. And then there's also like other people working in the mix. Like there could be an agent, there could be an uncle, there could be a brother, there could be a cousin. Like there's other people speaking. And I mean, be real, like we haven't really had any too terrible run-ins with people. I mean, obviously there's a few where you're like, damn, you play this for a higher number to go somewhere else, more in the portal. But I wouldn't say it's a big thing now. I mean, most places have like a base foundation number for freshmen. I mean, that's what we do, just to make sure the guys have something and they're well taken care of. And then it's just based on you to perform. And I don't think people really understand. Like if you're balling, you can get performance bumps.
Right.
You can just wake up to a wire from playing 4 games.
Right.
So I think people really need to look at more of the impact you potentially have instead of the dollar amount. Because if you're All-American, you are all freshman All-American. Every person in the country is going to be tampering with you, calling your phone, trying to get you.
I don't know how y'all do it.
So if you think if you think the place you're at isn't going to take care of you, I mean, in some situations they don't, but most of the time they're going to do a good job of it.
Man, well, you all right, dog? I'm like, you breaking this thing down. Okay, all right, man. Let me ask you this. I'm only give you a couple more questions because I know we limited on time. Got to get you out. All right. So, what is the priority in recruiting? Meaning, like, all right, so you got your war room, you got your board, and all this stuff. How do you break it down by position? Do you break it down by size, speed? Like, what is the priority when it comes to evaluating the players, and then how do you rank those guys? Because, man, you know, hey, coach, this coach told me that I just don't fit the physical mold. All right, well, I have this attribute of speed. I'm a 10-4 guy, but I'm not big. What are those things, man? And what are the priorities in recruiting for you guys?
So I was really position by position. So when I walked into the building, my day one, there was a packet with basically each coach's wants, needs at that position from a recruiting perspective. Height, weight, wingspan, fingers, hips, you know what I mean? Like the whole ordeal. Obviously, things change and guys that are just ballers, you know, that kind of gets thrown out the way. But I mean, I would say every coach has a traditional frame, wingspan, motor, or time that they would prefer in their room. But at the end of the day, if you're an 11-2 guy who's a safety, but you play like you 10-7 on tape, like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Some guys play faster on the field than they do running. It's not the same emotion or burst or excitement as it is when the whistle is live. So I think you got to take that into account. But at the same time, like you out here running, like there was a safety I really liked who ran 11-7, like baller, like 8 picks, coming down, being in the run game, like was doing it all, but he ran 11-7. We can't get past that, unfortunately.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I love you, but like, can you really run?
Yeah.
And, you know, some situations, like there's some undersized guys in certain positions that can get away, like nickel, receiver, running back, like even linebacker, depending on how athletic you are, you can get away with being a little undersized. But in the trenches, you need 6'1" plus.
Yeah.
Like being realistic. 6'1" being the lowest. That means you're a guy. Like
you do.
You know, so it's just it's varying on that, and then every coach has their own ideas of what they want. I mean, in our secondary, our 2 DB coaches, Trey Watson and Trey Brown, have put out 6 NFL DBs in the last 5 years.
Right.
So what they're doing works for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So it's all about finding those measurables that equate to something, but also finding the game tape that can match it.
That's good. Okay. Last 2. So with that being said, what is the deciding factor? I got a guy from Northern Cal, a guy from SoCal. All right. They both same height, weight. You turn the film on, they both balling. They doing their thing. And you got to pick one. Okay. And you're in that war room. Y'all are arguing back and forth. What is the deciding factor when it comes to those type of players, man? You're trying to decide who gets the nod.
They're never exactly the same.
Okay.
It's always 2 ends of the spectrum. Like D-line, like the example, D-line, like why this guy might have a bigger frame and be more raw. and this guy is a lot more polished and technical, but he's an inch or two smaller than what we would like. It comes down to one, what does the coach feel like they can do with that player if they can develop them or have a plan in place? And then it's like, do you want a surefire thing? So essentially, it's kind of above my pay grade at that point. It goes to the big bosses, and they sit and they hammer through, and they pull guys that remind them of the two, and they do a deeper dive, whether with the coach or the family, to truly understand this kid's mindset. I mean, I hope at this point we had them both on campus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'd be able to see who's a dog and who's not, and like we do all these little events on OVs just to see who kids are. We go bowling, we go to dinners, we go to breakfast, we do academic meetings. We have a chance to come. Like, we want to see how engaged you are throughout the whole visit and just your vibe as general. And we're gonna call the host. Hey, what was he like? What do you think? Would he make our room better? And that'll tell us everything we know. And if there's like not a gel within the group that's there, and you're the odd man out, deuces.
Huh. Interesting. I like it, man. Well, shoot. All right, man. I got 9 minutes, so I'm gonna roll you. I'm gonna get you up out of here because I know you got things to do. What is the dream? What's the end game for you, man? All right, it's all said and done. I'm in the football game. What is that dream for you, man?
Yeah, I think we're still figuring that out. I think obviously I would love to keep climbing this ladder that I'm on and go as high as I can. Have had opportunities to coach in the past. I don't know where I'm at with that yet. You know, it's something I got to figure out if that's what I want to do. Because the OGs put gems on you. They put gems on you, get your mind thinking. You're like, do I need to coach? Like, I love ball. I love being around it. I mean, I'd say this: the highest I can go with it is what I'm willing to do. Because I enjoy it that much, and it doesn't feel like work. I feel like I'm in a big locker room every day. We joke, we laugh, we talk crap, we eat good food, and we enjoy each other. Yeah, we enjoy each other, and I'm around the team I'm with right now, like Marshall Charrington, GM, amazing guy that I've known since 13. Benji, he's our director of recruiting. He's a Cal alumni. He's super connected in the area, and he's a fun presence. Amanda, she's our new director of on campus from Florida State, and she gives that presence of being in a big time arena, but being able to make it work for us. And then we have our guy David Ortega, another Cal alumni. He's primarily offense. He brings that resource mind of knowing everything and how it goes on, and just being tapped in from city. Another local guy. So I think when you're in a crew like that, it's nothing but fun and good times. Like even the OV season, it's hard. June is terrible. Like, it's a bunch of food, a bunch of late nights, a bunch of drop-offs, a bunch of pickups. But we all had a blast, didn't fight, didn't yell, and we got to enjoy it together.
Boy, man, it sounds fun. So you making me want to come out there, man, the way you describing it. God dog.
You know you good. You know you good whenever.
I'm like, God dang, man. It sounds like y'all kicking it, boy.
Hey, you got young staff, man. We good.
Hey, man, I like it, man. All right, so I'm gonna leave you with this, man. I give every coach that I talk to the opportunity, man. Why Cal? Why is Cal the place to be? Man, if anybody can hear this, why would Cal be the spot that they need to choose?
So I'm not gonna hit it right on the head on the academic piece first. I'm gonna save that for the end.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a little fact out there they don't know.
Okay.
In 5th active current NFL players, we're number 5.
Man, stop lying, man.
I'm sweating on.
Hey man, so you see my ass and my Aggies is up there now. Y'all 5. We gotta be top. We gotta be top 4 now. You know what I mean?
Hey, no ACC chance, but I feel you.
Hey man, it's all good. We in the league. My fault, man. I'm over here messing your picture, man. Go ahead, dog.
No, you're good. I would say obviously that. I say that the opportunity to play for a defensive-minded head coach like Justin Wilcox, to be in a situation where there's a heavy emphasis on the defense, but at the same time, he's very involved in the offense. 2, the Bay Area is one of the top 5 marketing cities in the world. Yeah. So we're talking about NIL, we're talking about exposure. Our running back, our QB1, and our O-lineman threw at the first pitch of the Giants baseball game on Cal night. So that doesn't show you what the love and support is of Cal. Yeah. You know, nothing will. And then obviously 3, 500,000 living alumni. The number one alumni organization in the world.
Wow.
Now, like we go around the area and we just meet random people. Like there's a spot called Grizzly Peak. It's like a mountain that overlooks everything. San Fran, Alcatraz, everything. Yeah. I met an alumni that's a billionaire.
Wow.
Just by taking a photo and having a conversation. And the people there really want to help you and see you do well. And I'm going to throw my academic piece on top. Number one public university in the world.
Okay.
10 programs in the top 10.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, shoot, look, I appreciate your time. Everybody, this is Marcus Griffin, the Assistant Player Personnel Director. I'm just going to go in and say it so you don't have to say it, so you won't get in no trouble, man. Sound like a future GM to me. You know what I mean? Boy can spit, man. You can say a little something, too. But look, man, that's another episode of the Coach's Corner, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. You guys take notes and listen to what they're saying. You guys have the questions. They have the answers. All right? But until next time, we're out.